All right, so we got a bit of a parts haul today for the Camaro. Went to the auto wrecker, picked up a cylinder head, a right side without the balance shaft, because we are going to run two right or left side heads, however that's described. So we lose the balance shaft, and the engine looks a little cooler. The big issue you're going to run into is you can't interswap the valve covers. They are directional left and right. So worst case, we're gonna have to run the big hump valve cover, but we'll at least won't have the balance shaft in there. It's not a big deal. If you're worried about balance shaft stuff on the V10, go watch a Build It Yourself's video where they buy a used V10 Super Duty, take the balance shaft off, and go for like a 2,000 k drive and measure the noise or NVH before, after, and went way into depth into what it does. But that's not important, but that's what we're going to do. So we're going to have the two heads. We might even make custom valve covers because you can do it the real simple way of just have a flat plate style, but we might get fancy, or we might just run the other valve cover, just that style, just to have it. And when we get around to valve covers, we'll do that. Next part we got is this radiator here. We were going to run that one right there. Well, not that exact one, but one like it, which is the 93 to 97 RX-7 USDM spec intercooler or radiator. Ordered one in. It came in the mail. I went across the border and picked it up. The other box was there, which is crazy. It took 2 days to get it shipped from Oregon. I kind of forget how fast things can go when you're not in Canada. So yeah, the fact it was in the same state, they just brought it over. It didn't have to sit in customs. It didn't have to go through Canada Post and all the many steps and take like 3 months to get it. So well worth the $6 in the walk. But it did mean that these calipers are fucking heavy. I mean, I'm adding a lot of sprung weight, but the vehicle these came off of, the LX 570 SUV, I mean, stops real fine. And yeah, so we got these guys because if you notice, the center point, center line of the bolts and where the pistons are very close. So I can hopefully tuck these in quite close and make, because it's wider than the mounts on the RX spindle, I can make an adapter either on this side or that side, and I can space out the rotor if I have to. And we'll do that. But yeah, we got the cylinder head, pulled it out. Scott actually had the magic touch and was able to remove all the exhaust manifold studs, except for the ones that were already broken. But hey, I mean, can't take out broken ones when they're already broken. But yeah, we took it out. I found out why this vehicle's at the auto wrecker. See if you can spot what is fucked. Should be pretty clear by now. Yeah, so something got in here and just caused the valve to break. Now the seat looks okay where I'm looking at it, but you have to remember that the valve spins, so there may be a section of the seat that's damaged. Now, worst case, we have to get the seat removed and put new ones in. Now, I'd probably be getting a valve job anyways, or at least the seats cut to the new valves, because I'm not gonna run unless these are in okay shape. Which I'm not gonna. These ones I probably wouldn't trust because just one being fucked. I mean, if something got in, it may have gotten into the others, and we'll go down that road as we just disassemble it. But for $120 Canadian, great head. I mean, a lot of dicking around to just pull one head off of V10 and auto wrecker. We basically cut the timing chain guide bolt off. Just took the gear off, hammered it off with the chain. It dropped down. Took the intake manifold off, both of them. Grabbed that as well, which we have here. Grabbed it as a spare because these are $20 at the auto wrecker, and I've already cut and welded mine up. But if I have to cut and weld it again, I've got a brand new one to go off of. Well, brand new to me. Yeah, as I was getting the pricing for my parts, I did remind the auto wrecker these are used parts, and I don't know if that got me a discount or a surplus or surcharge. We also picked this guy up off of a Ranger. I think it was a Ranger.
Yeah, it was a Ranger.
Yeah, an earlier Ranger. This is just the wiper motor assembly. I was going to go for Mercedes ones because they look pretty powerful and pretty stout and simple at the same time. Very early Mercedes styles of things. Stout, simple, powerful, works great. I mean, now Mercedes is a little bit high-end and nutty in what they make. But before I ramble on, yeah, we're going to use this guy. The mounting is 3-bolt. It goes on a bit of an angle, so we're going to have to maybe either redo this mounting plate and we can make it mount to those, and then change the arm, put it in there, and we'll have wipers. It'll be good. Obviously, I'll have to change the arms to swap over. Maybe cutting some welding, not a big deal. I've done it before. On our FD RX-7 with a Coyote swap, I had a Q45 wiper in there. Because if you look up FD RX-7s, they're notorious for having the shittiest of all wipers. But yeah, this is the radiator that came in the mail. It's not the one I was supposed to get, but strangely enough, it's legitimately a Camaro radiator. But sadly, due to it being a Camaro one, it won't fit in where I need it to go, which is right in that hole. And that FD one fits real nice with a little bit of love tapping. It goes in there and it's sunken in. It's inside the vents, and I'll still have room for a fan to mess around and not be super tight. But yeah, so kind of shitty. We're still waiting to see what the buyer's going to do to remedy the situation. But the fact is, shipping it back's a real pain because I have to go across the border unless I have to pay the duty for it. And I mean, I don't want to pay duty and have it take about a month and a half to get to them. Or probably like 2 to 3 weeks. But, you know, it really makes the process take way longer than I want it to. So yeah, I got to figure that out. We're getting some new spindles tomorrow. So we'll be able to kind of mess around with these calipers and see if they'll work. I mean, I haven't took a tape measure to any of this. I've just went on eBay and scoured hundreds and hundreds of different brake rotors or caliper setups. I was flip-flopping between these and like a LX4 or LS430 or LX460 or a Acura RL, because they use radial mounting calipers, so they use the top bolts or through bolts, and then give you apparently a better braking feel because you don't have any flex here. But I think that's more to do with like a single piston floating star sliding caliper style, because you'll get that pull on it. I mean, it's not that much really, because I mean, cars are still using that style without any issues. So kind of flip-flop between these, but these were dirt cheap and they shipped really fast, which was great. And they'll give me a lot of stopping power. In worst case, I'll just sell them off to the next guy. So yeah, that's where we're at with our parts, and we'll see where we start with first. This is probably going to go in storage. But while I have it out and I have the camshaft, we could actually measure my aftermarket cams and compare them to a OEM camshaft, which will be a bit of fun. So yeah, if you want me to start on either one of these projects first, I mean, put a comment down below and like and subscribe. Smell ya later.